Hi, hello, and welcome. Today we are going to do a project that has to do with a rainbow. And the very first thing we're going to do is look at the materials we need. So we need paper. I have construction paper, but if you want to reuse some old paper in your home, that's totally fine. We're trying to do these projects and activities with things you probably already have around your house. So we will need some glue, some cotton balls, some Fruit Loops, and as an option to make things harder at the end, I have tongs, if you have them, and or a writing utensil or a marker. So the first thing we're going to do is take our piece of paper. I'm going to use pink. Take the piece of paper. We're going to draw 2 horizontal lines. I'm going to do this project facing you so you can see it. 2 horizontal lines near the bottom edge of your paper, like this. Then we're going to take the Fruit Loops and decide which color goes first in the rainbow. I know it's red, so I'm going to start taking my glue and making an arc with all of my red Fruit Loops. My glue's a little old. Hold on a second. It's because I use it a lot. All right. So you can either do 1 by 1, putting glue on your cereal and making the arc like that, or you can make an arc of glue. Probably only a little bit at a time. This can target eye-hand coordination and putting things in the right place. This one needs more glue. Hold on. So drawing 2 horizontal lines kind of works on those pre-writing strokes if you guys are working on writing, working on holding the pencil. And I do want to say at the beginning of this video, if your child needs help or cannot do one of these steps on their own, I suggest you use hand-over-hand assistance. I'm really struggling with this glue, but that's okay. We all struggle. Okay. Either hand-over-hand assistance as much as you can, because it helps the child stay engaged and encouraged that they can do this on their own, that you're not just doing it for them. So I'm going to finish putting on these red ones. Okay. Now that we're done with the red ones, I realized I can't lift my paper up or they're going to fall off because the glue isn't dried yet. But what I want to tell you before we move on to orange is that looking through different colors and picking them up like this between your fingers really works on isolating that pincer grasp that looks like this. They're pinching with these 2 fingers, and sometimes children have a hard time. Some of your kids might be digging like this. Oh my goodness. And some of your kids might just be struggling with this altogether, and that's okay because we learn through the struggle. Now, we're also learning visual discrimination. So they're looking at all these different colors and finding the one that you're asking for and looking for. I just found orange. And now I'm going to do orange. Okay, now we are done with the actual rainbow part of the rainbow. How beautiful does that look? That looks gorgeous. Now I'm going to put my glue on because if I don't keep it upside down, I'm going to have to keep shaking it around. So what I'm doing is putting glue all over the bottom part of where I drew those 2 horizontal lines. And you probably guessed it. But what do you think goes here next? It is the cotton balls, and those will be the clouds. Now that all the colors are on, we are going to take cotton balls and gently pull them apart using our fingers like this, and they get big and fluffy. What we're going to do with these is place them on the glue so it looks like clouds. This pinching of the cotton balls works on the pincer grasp that we talked about before. It works on bilateral coordination, so you're working with both hands at the same time. It's a lot of brain power. And it also works on some force modulation. If you have any of your kids who are writing too hard or too soft or just don't really know what amount of force to put on things, ask them not to tear the cotton ball in half. Just pull it really gently so it doesn't tear, but it still gets big and fluffy. I know my rainbow's looking gorgeous. How about yours? Do the other side quick. Now I'm going to tell you guys about how this project also works on tactile messy play. Not only do you have these Fruit Loops, they're kind of rough, they're hard. That might be an unenjoyable feeling for some of your tactile kids. We also have the cotton balls. They're soft and they're fluffy. You can talk about how things feel. And then we get to the glue. So even trying my hardest, I got glue on my fingers. That is wet and sticky. Try to encourage your kids to not wash their hands until they're done with the activity so they can start desensitizing those negative feelings towards textures. But do wash your hands after the activity. Now, the two other options that we could do to make this activity a little bit harder, or if you have multiple age kids in your home, I do have this set of tongs, and it can be a little bit more difficult to pick up the cereal with your tongs and then place them. It's a nice challenge. As you can see, I was challenged. And another way to make this a little bit harder, especially if you have kids that are a little bit older and working on handwriting, you can have them write down the names of all the colors. I'm going to do that right now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and stay tuned for another fun project where I'm going to tell you all the things that the simple projects work on. Follow us on Instagram.